So I'm going to do a little video for you now, and I'm going to try and film the controller and the RoCrow and then put the two videos together. So I want you to watch my stick movements, my finger movements when I'm flying the RoCrow. So especially if you're a beginner and you haven't flown before, this should give you an idea of the controls a little easier than just trying to explain them to you, and also the launch, because the launch is quite important. Quite a lot of throttle needs to be added, so sort of 90% throttle. And when you throw the RoCrow, you're not, if you launch it at 11 o'clock, you're likely to stall it. If you launch it at 9 o'clock, you're likely to hit the floor. So you want to be throwing it at about 10 o'clock, so about that angle. And it doesn't need to be a big hard launch, it just needs to be toss it in the air. When you throttle it up, you should feel it pulling in your hand, and then you just launch it into the wind. It's quite hard to describe, but if you watch it through, you'll sort of see exactly how I do it. So, and there isn't a massive jump to try and grab the controls, as you'll see, because in stabilized mode it will level itself. So just let it fly away. Don't panic. Just be nice and calm with it. So so here we go. So there we are, we're up and away. Now, if you can see, we're just going nice and straight, and I'm going to put in a left turn. So there we go, nice and gentle round to the left. I'm just going to drop the throttle off, so we're coming back downwind. So the wind's going to push me along, so I've just dropped my throttle a little bit. There we go, and we're just going to let it come back down. Now, if you imagine how you're looking at this on your screen as a television screen in front of you. So we're going to do a left turn, come back across, and then I'm going to do another left turn. I'm going to go back into the wind, so I'm going to add a bit more throttle there. Okay, so if you imagine that when I'm stood here, I'm looking at a television screen on a wall, and I want it in front of me, and I don't want to be looking over to my right too far, I don't want to be looking over to my left too far, I just want to be looking at that television screen. So as I reach the edge of the screen, which I'm sort of doing there, I'm just going to do another left turn like that, and I'm going to fly down that edge, and I'm going to do another left turn, and I'm going to come back across, and it's keeping me flying either downwind or into the wind. And as I reach down there, I'm going to do a left turn as well. This is giving you the right vision. If you fly right over your head, you're not going to do well, because you're going to crane, you're going to have to move your feet, you're going to have to turn around. So we're going to come back and do another left turn, and I want to stay at the same altitude and just perfect those little left turns. So now I've got that left turn right, and I'm keeping it at the same height. I'm going to do a diagonal, so I've just nudged it over there, and I'm going to let it fly over that way, and then I'm going to do a right, and I'm going to do that same rectangle, but I'm going to do it the opposite way around. So I'm going to get down there, and I want to do a right turn like that, and then I'm going to let it fly down here. I'm going to maintain the same altitude, and then I'll do another right turn, and I'm going to fly down that way. And again, it's still, I'm not moving my feet, I'm just turning my head from side to side. Do another right turn. Now we've lost a bit of altitude there because we've been pushed along by the wind, so another bit more throttle, another right turn, and I fly back into the wind, and I want to climb a little bit just to keep it at that height. And there we go, nice and gentle. I'm not rushing around with these controls. So I've just done my left turn, and I've just done my right turn. So now as I reach centre, I want to do a circle. So I'm going to give it a little bit more throttle, because we're going into that wind, and that wind's blowing a little harder now. So I've just gone past centre, and I'm just going to put this on here, and I want to do a circle, and I want to pretty much end up just where I was. So I'm coming round, still coming round, still coming round, still coming round, and a bit harder, and a bit harder, and a bit harder, and you can see my thumb just dropping down to that right hand, so I'm giving it up elevator, and there we go, we've done a circle. So it's that simple. It's nice and gentle on these controls. When I want to descend, look, I'm about 3/4 of the way, and we're just dropping nice and gently. Okay, level out, just let go. If I want to climb, throttle and climb. Okay, so it's not big hard stabbing movements like this. We don't need to be throwing it around the air. So again, a left turn, and I'm going to come straight back down the centre line now towards myself. There we go. I'm going to drop the throttle, I'm going to push the nose down so I'm a bit lower, and then just before I get here, I'm going to do a left turn and keep it in that window, keep it there. I don't want to go over my head at this stage. I just want it nice and simple out there like that. Another left turn, there we go, and then this time I'm going to fly it just down this track in front of me. So I'm going to drop my throttle off here, I'm going to do a nice steady left turn, bring it round in line with myself, I'll drop my throttle right off, and I'll push my nose down. Now, probably not going quick enough into this wind, so I'm going to add a bit more throttle in, Just let it come back nice and gently. Get it at the height I want. So I want to be slightly over my head. Now, anytime you can just pull this stick back, and there we are. We just drop it on the ground in front of us. Nice and straightforward, nice and simple, nice and controlled. Left turns, right turns, nothing too exciting. Hope that's helpful for everyone.